What is up, plant community? The Green Thumb here. So, this video has been a bit long overdue. It's been needing to be done to this particular specimen. And looking into it, you do this when they're dormant. Looks like we got some new neighbors moving in. I'm not going to show them because I'm not sure if they even want to be on camera. So this has been greatly long overdue, and this needed to be happening. And this is my cold hardy, well, they're all cold hardy, but it's Rose of Sharon's. It's a hibiscus species, which is why I almost said cold hardy hibiscus. But yeah, Rose of Sharon's. So anyways, I looked online, and I guess you trim these. Sorry about the junk in the way. Hopefully he moves this by springtime, because if not, it's going to get moved because I have to get in there. Anyways, so yeah, Rose of Sharon's. They're a species of hibiscus native to the Asiatic countries. Now, they normally grow as shrubs, but you can trim them up to grow like trees. So, I'm going to be doing a lot to this guy. So, originally I was like, yeah, I'll let him grow as a shrub. And then I was like, now I just really do want to come back. And now we had a bit of an injury that healed over time there. You can see where that green tape is. I'll get in there and try to cut that tape away. See where that injury occurred. So I'm going to have to put you guys down for a minute. Alright, so I cut away the tape because the tape is what I use to kind of keep this branch alive here. And yeah, we can look in there, see the injury. It's healed some, and so has this right here. But this branch will definitely be getting cut off because, yeah, I just want this to be kind of like a tree type of form. So there is going to be so much that's going to be done. And you do this when they're dormant, or you do it before spring when they're starting to bud. I prefer to do it when they're dormant, and this is how I'm going to do it, just to kind of trim them back, because it was kind of my fault for planting it out on the edge like this, but you know what, that's kind of how I wanted it, so maybe I could get some things in the background and plant those in the background eventually. But yeah, we better get trimming. Had to pick up some cones, blew off from my cypress. If you guys are wondering, yep, my banana completely died back. I did throw a little bit of a leaf litter I had stored in the back on it, but yeah, not too worried about that. So here's my tools I'm going to be using. Couldn't find my good pruners, so these will have to do. I did put them underneath scalding hot water, which usually gets rid of bacteria. And then with that, yeah, my little handheld saw, which for a shrub like this should be all you need. And we gotta remember, we're really looking to trim this up into a tree form. So it's not going to quite look like this anymore. It's not going to look full-fledged and bushy. It's going to be very altered from its original look here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm probably going to come in here. I'm going to saw this away because it's kind of just coming out. It's in the way of everybody. So I'm definitely going to get rid of that. It doesn't need to be there. So drop my little saw here. Come in here. And I'm going to saw that away because that branch is too low. It's getting in everybody's way. It pokes at everybody. It's just not good for the plant to have this. It's going to get broke. It almost done got broke because when they were out here doing the roofs, government housing, hires people do the roofs, they just kind of threw their shingles everywhere. They didn't really care, paid attention where they were throwing them. And it hit my shrub. I could have been rude about it, but I decided not to be and try to be the bigger person. And, you know, it's kind of funny because I tried hilling that too. It's like, now I want to get rid of it completely. I should just broke it off, I guess. But show you what that looks like when that's done. All right, guys. Here's the one big old branch. Now, hopefully we don't get a bad winter either, because I know one winter it got so bad we got knocked down a zone, and well, I did lose some branching, but these guys are usually pretty hardy, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. If it does die, I can always get a newer one, and one that isn't that common like the purple ones, so that's something to always take into consideration too. Yeah, it'll suck because I'll have to start all over again, but hey, at least this time I know I can trim it to a form. But yeah, that's what that looks like now. I didn't want it completely cut all the way back because I do want that little bark piece to heal eventually. But yeah, now I gotta get in here and trim some of the lower stuff off. So, I'm gonna take this tool right here and I'm gonna get down there right in here. Gonna take that off. Oh, wow. There we go. We can see it's still kind of green, which is good. That means it's alive, but there is not a whole lot of sap flow, which is good because we don't want the sap flowing. So, yeah, we took that completely off, and that's basically all you're going to do with this whole Rose of Sharon's, is you're just going to cut off anything that's shrubby that you don't want. You could even have it double trunking if you want. In my case, I'm not sure I really want a double trunking, hibiscus species. I have two different hibiscus species, Rose of Sharon's and swamp hibiscus, which dies back down to the ground, which happens to be native here in Indiana, which I found out about. Which makes sense because these two are very similar, it's just this one gets more woody. I've seen older ones in Muncie that have more of a trunk form, and that's why I want to try to mimic here, is more of a trunk and more of a tree form, because eventually I want it to get like decently tall, but not too tall to where I'm getting crapped on because, well, it's a quote unquote tree that doesn't need to be here, even though it's really just a shrub. And I need to prune the shrub back anyways, you know. Especially away from the desert area, because here it gets a little shaded and gets a little bushy on this side. So there's a lot of things that need to be corrected on this particular species of hibiscus. So I'm going to prune this guy up, and I'll show you what it looks like once I'm completely done. Alright, are you guys ready to see what it looks like so far? Here's what it looks like now, so far. But, yeah, still not done. Still got a lot more trimming to do. There was a part of the tree that I couldn't really get to because it's kind of formed in such a way where it's like a lump that I can't get to because it's too low to the ground. I would need a special kind of tool to get to that. Not sure what tool to use, so what I'm going to do is hopefully kill that trunk off if it starts to form some foliage. I'll just pitch it off and probably try to kill that half off. So that way I can eventually have a single trunk. And yeah, I'm not done. So now I've got to trim the lower parts. But yeah, this is what it's looking like so far. Alright guys, are you ready to see the end results? You guys are going to be like, wow, now it looks like a Charlie Brown tree. So here's all the branches I took off for this year. just because they're getting too wide and too far out. And I kind of wanted it to look like a more tropical hibiscus tree that you'd see in the Caribbeans or something. So yeah, this is the end results. Not a not a lot. Um, so yeah, and hopefully with time, which it will happen, this will just bush out on the top, and I'll just keep it nice and looking like a tree. There are some little points on the trunk, which are little dormant buds. During the spring, I will definitely cut off, just because I ain't gonna want those, and I ain't gonna want them on this particular specimen, especially when I'm shaping it to look like a tree, a miniature tree at best. But yeah, this is what I'm left with. This is the branches I'm left with. Um, we done had an Arctic blast. It did not kill these branches. Of course, this is a pretty shaded little location here, but yeah, Rose of Sharon's pretty much what's left. Um, so yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully I kind of teach you guys how to trim your Rose of Sharons up into a tree form if you ever want to. And it might not look like much now, but I guarantee you during the summer time, it's going to start producing a lot of leaves. It's going to want to branch up here more. It's going to want to take this as the main leader. This is the main leader right here. And it's just going to want to get a little bit taller and branch out. I'll probably show my neighbor this and he'll be like, oh no. But yeah, otherwise than that, guys, as always, keep it real and keep it tropical.